Here, waiting for the
And it's
icon.
three,
Hey, look at that.
two,
We are
one.
live. Hey, folks. Sunday night hangout here on Canucks with Guitars / me / we're waiting on Rich. As usual, guys, you know Rich. Who do we got in the house? Let's see. We've got starting left to right on my screen. I recognize that cat. I think he's out of Ohio. Is that Bruce?
It is.
We got Bruce in the house. And next to Bruce, we've got all the way from sunny California. I believe that's JJ himself of JJ's House of Jams in the house.
Peace, brothers. What up? Good to see you all,
Yeah.
as always.
And the guy next to him, out of the Chicago, Illinois area, the first guy to subscribe to me when I started hanging out in these crazy chats last year, R2R3 Lockingnut in the house.
Yes.
Right on. What's up, everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, how many cats we got joining us here? We've already got 8 people watching. Wow. Let's see who we got here. We've got Medicated One, fellow Canuck. We got Hunter, another Canuck. We got Fender Guru, all the way from New Zealand. We got some guy named R2R3 Lockingnut. I don't know who that is. Some BHB guy, some JJ's House of Jams guys. Adam EVH, Jim Guidry, our Metal Stage podcast. Wow, that whole crew's in here. Awesome.
Right on. Right on.
For a Sunday night hangout. Sean Mahoney's in the house. Blackie DH is in the house. Dry Heat 480's in the house.
Big shout outs. Adam, Medicated One, Sean Mahoney, Fender Guru, Dry Heat, and anyone else, man. That's awesome.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Right on. What's up,
Loving
everybody?
this. Yeah, the gang's all here, right? Yeah.
The gang is here.
So everyone had a groovy weekend. Everything's going well on your end, guys?
Yeah, I had a great morning. Boat ride this morning. Met the in-laws and everyone, and they'd rented a boat in Huntington Harbor. So from rolling in from a party last night at 3 in the morning to an early start this morning to go and get on a boat for a nice boat ride. So I had a killer day, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Relaxing.
Nice.
And then, we got crazy weather here in California right now. It's just, it's nuts. So hopefully you guys are getting some of this sun because we got plenty.
Nice, nice. How about you, Bruce? How's your weekend going?
Really good. Really good.
Really
I'm
good.
enjoying Scotch and Coke right now as we speak.
Nice. And nice shirt, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Do you coordinate with R2R3 here? He's enjoying the weekend. He's was hanging out at Guitar Center earlier today, I heard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice trip to Guitar Center, checking out a all rosewood Fender Telecaster. Almost came home with it.
Yeah.
Steve from Boston has one of those. Yeah, they're real nice.
So have you
Just
ordered
can't-
another one to check out, R2, or what's the story there?
They have one at another store, another Guitar Center over here by my house, not too far, a couple miles away. So I told them I might go over there and check that one out.
Nice.
This one played good. It had a little bit of high action on it, but I just noticed a little flaws in the paint and the neck. So it's just little cosmetic things. But I'm going to go check out the one over here by my house in Villa Park. And usually I have good luck over there. It's a good store.
Okay.
Well,
So
we
it
got,
was store defects then, just cosmetic from being in a store and getting bashed around, as we know.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I think a lot of people were picking it up, and it just
Yours,
it didn't
they
look.
would call it blemishes.
Yeah,
There you go.
and they won't cut the price too, even if it's for those blemishes. You try to work a deal with them, and they
Right.
don't want to budge with the American Fenders.
nice. We got Terry's GG&G in the house. We got Stratocat62. Welcome. New name in the chat tonight. Sean Zimmerman's in the house. Nice. Wow, 16 people watching. Don't forget a thumbs up. Got to be blatant, right? Got to be blatant on that stuff. So, well, I'm glad everyone's doing well. I've been working all weekend myself and, banking that money for Gearfest. It's coming up fast. Ended up buying an amplifier the other night. So that set me back a few bucks. So, yeah,
more
buddy
on that
needed
one.
some money. It's a PV second generation Viper VIP2.
Okay.
12-inch speaker in it. And, he needed some cash, so $60. Why not? 60 Canadian. So that's like $45 for you guys. And I
Yeah,
figure I can
right
keep
on.
it at work. You guys know I go live from work and I'm playing through a little Woolworths amp, and getting that tone out of that. So I figure, have some presets set up and sound a little better when I'm playing during my live lunches.
Nice.
Gearfest or Beerfest, Terry says. Gearfest during the day, Beerfest in the evening, because everyone that's part of the Canucks with Guitars family is welcome by to my place for a jam at the hotel afterwards.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna rock.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'm planning an 8-hour drive home on Sunday, extremely hungover.
Man,
And if I don't find at least one video on my phone, I'm like, I have no recollection of doing that. Perfect.
The Hangover.
Sean Zimmerman
Dang.
says, for the price, I want to make my own scratches as well. Don't blame you a bit. I assume talking to you, R2. New in the box, not the one hanging on the wall. Dave Nesdall says, get the one off the wall that you played. I like the ones off the walls, but yeah, I'm the same way you are, buddy. Like, I wouldn't pay full price if it's got noticeable dings and scratches and stuff. Hey, Bruce, you're rubbing on your cheek.
Yeah.
What's that?
Rubbing on your
Guitar
cheek
Center-
with your microphone.
Actually, I'm not. I was
Okay.
touching the mic plug-in because I kept hearing that noise, and I was making sure it wasn't me. When you were talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
so
enough.
when I was moving the input jack, and that's why. No, this isn't close enough. I get my finger right in there. See.
Okay. Sounded like it. So go ahead, JJ.
Sorry.
In California, if you take in anything to trade in against a new product, they'll always give you 10% off. I don't know if it's the same in other states.
Nice.
So you
Regardless
could
of
walk
the,
in with something
quality?
worth $20. What's that?
Yeah, regardless of the quality.
Regardless,
bring
if
something
you
in,
take
get
some in
like-
a trade. Yeah. So you could take in some old crummy pedal. They're going to give you $15 for, but they'll give you 10% off that product.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bear that in
Terry
mind.
just
And
meant-
that's some money.
Interesting. Terry just mentioned most of his videos where he plays on the videos, he plays through a VIP to directly to the USB into the PC. Interesting. Yeah, sitting in the trunk of my car. I'd show it off. But
They've got all the
Yeah.
presets in them, different
exactly.
different amp
Different
models
amp
and all that.
presets.
Yeah, they were
Yep.
pretty good when they came out.
Yeah, and the second gen, I think it also allows for acoustic and bass,
Right.
which is nice because if I got a little gig where I'm, doing a solo acoustic or something like that, it sounds better than, running acoustic through my Blues Deluxe or something. It just makes it sound much like a hollow body electric more than still an acoustic.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Bruce,
guys,
Bruce, are you going to get anything at
Yeah.
Gearfest?
I am making sure everything's going to be covered: hotel, food, beer, gas, and then after that, whatever's left over. I'm not looking for anything specific besides the fact that I want a good deal. If I run into a really good deal, regardless of what kind of gear it is, I'm gonna probably jump on it. If not, then if I come home with all the money I went there with, besides necessities, then I'm fine with that. I'm not gonna go forcing myself to buy something.
Yeah.
I
That's how
can't
you
make that promise.
Well, I make hasty decisions if I do that. So, I know myself.
Yeah. I'm pre-putting money down on a credit card so I have the room.
I think anyone who's going is coming home with something.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
face it, you're going to heaven.
Well, they do have a thing if you're going to register, and every hour they're giving away gear,
Nice.
and you get thrown in with that. Every hour you get a chance to win something. Every hour, both days.
Awesome.
So I could come home with something without spending any money.
This
Yeah.
is true. Oh, and Terry was saying he does his bass and acoustic demos through the VIP too, as well. Yeah, I'm going to have to check. I'm going to have to check that out, Terry. That's awesome. Awesome. So since we all play guitar in this little community, I'm curious for you guys, what guitar player was the one that made you decide to pick up a guitar? Start with R2. Since you
What
have
guitar
the
player?
Did someone just call out to you?
Can I pick two?
More than welcome to, because I have two.
It was Jimmy Page and David Gilmour.
Nice.
A little bit of half and half.
Sure. How about you, JJ?
Well, it was my dad who made me pick up the guitar, so it was like he was a guitarist, so he put that in my hands. But kind of like that influence. I mean, I'm the same there. I mean, age group tells everything, and Page, David Gilmour, growing up on those Neil Young. I mean, all the old, even Cat Stevens, the super mellow stuff. I loved it all. Simon Garfunkel, learning all the acoustic songs. That was it really, starting it all off.
Sure. How about you, Bruce?
Yeah, and then kicking.
Oh, go ahead, JJ.
I was saying what really kicked it into the next level was Steve Vai, I think, for me. He blew my mind. I was watching him again yesterday doing that first version of For the Love of God when he did his first apparent live performance. I mean, I remember that when they came out in like the very early 90s or late 80s, those videos came out of him and Satriani, and I was that blew my mind. My mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right on.
What about you, Bruce, man?
I can remember sitting there with a big set of headphones like these on, plugged into my parents' stereo, pushing in the Pink Floyd 8-track of The Wall, and I knew just what song to skip to when, and one of my favorite songs was, I can remember, Young Lust, and just the harmonizing with the guitar and the voices harmonizing, it stirred something in me. So, and I didn't even know, you know what I mean? I didn't know, oh, that's David Gilmour, you know what I mean?
Sure.
All I did know was I loved it, and it struck something. And but then after the years went by, it's not like they went and got me a guitar or anything because I didn't mention it. So, then after a while, I started picking up all the usuals, Van Halen, listening to them, and I can remember their first album came out, and I was young. I was younger than 10, of course, born in '72, but I absorbed music like a teenager already. Just hearing it. So, and Hendrix blew me away too. So, and then Clapton as I kind of matured in my listening, So yeah, but I think Gilmour started it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Hey Bruce, you mentioned 8-tracks. It's funny you said that. I pulled this out. I was thinking of Johnny Bean, and here's an actual 8-track of. I don't know if you guys can see that right there.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
Van Halen, Women and Children First, 8-track.
That's
I still
awesome.
have this thing. And we're on Johnny Bean talking about, I think Steve Rummeister Anderson was asking what your two favorite songs from each era of the David Lee Roth, and all of a sudden I pulled this out. Johnny Bean loves the Women and Children First, and
this brings album.
Back memories.
I wonder if that's worth money.
I don't have a player, but it's cool to look at.
I have two behind me. Behind that tarp right there.
Cool.
Because I don't throw anything out. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. So,
what about
Bruce,
you, Ben?
do you feel it? Oh, for me? Oh, geez. Two guys. One, I'm thinking, real young age. We're talking, 5, 6 years old, like almost 10 years before I ever picked up a guitar. Eddie Van Halen, for the fact that every time I saw him play, he was smiling. Especially the early days, always smiling. And Ace Frehley, because I would hear the riffs that my dad would listen to. My dad was very much a rockabilly guy, and Chuck Berry and stuff like that. And I would hear those licks in Kiss solos. And I was just like, wow, you can play these cool modern songs, but still use the old licks. And Space Ace was the Space Ace, so. And he showed you didn't have to be the best guitar player technically and still just absolutely kick butt.
Yeah. Kiss, when I started in, I don't know, late 70s, early 80s, started listening to them, I just went full force into them. So it's like I only have one vinyl left right now, and it's a Japanese rock and roll over Kiss album, mint condition. Nice. It's the only one I own right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
My brother
I think I
had
still
the
have
Kiss Alive album. Kiss Alive album is something I used to listen to all
That's
the time.
good.
when I was
That
a kid.
album, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I think at age 9, I traded a kid, I don't know, like lunch money or something, and I bought a copy of Double Platinum. And I was,
that's one of my
9 years
favorites,
old,
yeah.
and yeah, it's like their first greatest hits type thing, and I was just like, who are these guys? This is awesome.
Yeah. Ace Frehley. I still got Ace Frehley solo album on cassette.
Nice.
Double Platinum on cassette. I got tons of cassette. Tons.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of that stuff's out of print, right?
Cassette wise, yeah. I mean, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, still got some Jimi Hendrix on cassette.
Me too. It's funny. Yeah. Lots of kids.
Well, we've heard from the other Canuck. He said S word. I'm not going to say. Completely forgot. Just got back from walking the dogs. Tuning in at least. So if he's listening, I'm throwing you under the bus, Rich. And I told him, haha, come on, jump in. So assuming he sees that message, so there we go. Which would be funny if Rich is like just in the chat, right? I'd be like, this is weird. You should be in here.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Bruce, do you feel like showing off a guitar to, I see a few people were asking about it in the chat there.
Well,
or do you want to wait a few minutes and see if His Highness decides to jump in? Because I'm sure he'll want to see it.
I can, what I'll do is...
There he is.
Yeah, there he is. I was going to say I was going to grab it and just keep it on my lap. I'm sure he'll want to see it. I can, what I'll do is...
Why am I getting an echo? Who's playing the playback?
Who's the new guy in here?
That's funny.
All right, you want me to grab it?
Yeah, you should grab it.
All right, I'm going to...
You do what you need to do. Notice how he puts up his avatar so he shows off his telly while he goes to get his...
Yeah, you got to like this. You got to give the telly some love first.
Yeah, see? Yeah. That's funny.
There you go.
Oh, what do we got there? Is that Charvel?
Yeah. Ooh.
Did somebody freeze? I see JJ moving.
I'm moving.
Oh, there we are. Hang on, I'm going to present you.
Yeah, please do. Present him.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Oh, that's how you do it. There we go, sir. Oh, look at that beauty. So what do you got there, buddy?
This is my 2007 USA Custom Shop Charvel.
Oh.
It's a Music Zoo special. It's an all mahogany natural. Original Floyd Rose.
That's beautiful.
There's a Seymour Duncan Custom 5 and a Seymour Duncan Cool Rail. Not a hot rail, but a cool rail.
Oh, wow.
I guess the Music Zoo and Charvel, Mike Shannon, worked together to come up with these limited edition Charvels, and I had to pick one up. That plays awesome.
Nice.
There's no paint job on here. It plays great.
Beautiful.
My go-to guitar. I compare every guitar to this neck. It's unbelievably smooth. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, man.
Thanks.
I see we got Shane from In the Blues jumping in here.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Welcome, Shane. You're not too late.
What up, Shane?
Hey, Shane.
David
What's going on,
Ennis is
Shane?
in the shows.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
David Stratocaster Ennis.
And like I said earlier, Rich, you can jump in anytime if you want. Plenty of room. We had 10 on Shane's channel last night, so plenty of room.
That was cool.
That was so much fun. Thanks again, Shane, for doing that. Yeah, I hadn't had a chance. I was busy at work so much today. Well, Bruce knows I had a pretty busy day. And I meant to get on, at least go on the video and comment to say thank you. So, Shane, you're watching. Thank you very much. And yeah, so now Bruce is back. Let's see. Here, stop presenting. There we go. And I'm going to present you now, Bruce, so you can show off that awesome.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
At this angle, sitting down, I wonder. That's not so bad. Okay.
Now, is that a binding around the headstock, or is that just okay?
No, it is. Look, that's. I thought was pretty neat.
Oh,
it's not as thick as the binding around the body, of course.
Right.
See, hold on, that was get that glare out of there. So if you look at it on the actual.
Just look at that color, guys.
See how much
That's a
thicker
killer
it is?
red. Wow.
Yeah, the candy apple is. I still can't get it right now as good as I had on the video itself. Like the video I posted, the unboxing. There we go.
Oh, I'm sure it looks great in person.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
I've been begging them to bring it to GearFest, but
first, I don't have a case for it yet. I'd have to buy one of those expensive hard cases for this thing. Oh well.
Oh, I thought you'd pull up on a mast to just put it in the seat with the seatbelt around it.
No. Yeah, it's not. It's you know, the ebony fretboard I think looks really good with the candy apple red.
Yeah, so hot.
But Ben, this is your neck. This is what you want. There's no sanding involved for you. This is already bare bones neck.
Yeah.
So you know everything you get, you always sand. This thing is not. No sanding required.
Hey, Johnny Bean's in the house.
Hey, Johnny Bean.
See, all I had to do is show off a Wolfgang, and Johnny Bean shows up.
He's like got a homing signal for it. It's like a radar.
His spidey senses were tingling. Somebody's showing off a Wolfgang.
There we go. You see some of the sparkle there?
Oh,
there we go, right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's what I was trying to get before in the video, and I got a little bit of it, but it was in passing, so it wasn't.
Right.
You know,
just a teaser.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Side view.
Wow.
Thank you.
Right on, Bruce.
It plays
How's
so
that ebony? How's that ebony
Yeah.
fretboard treating you? I have a lot of guitars with ebony fretboard, and I just love the feel of it.
This is my first. I'm usually I have mostly rosewood.
Yeah.
Mostly like I have a lot of guitars. I got 2 rosewood, 1 maple, and this ebony. You know, as far as most of my guitars, let's say. I got a few other ones, but they're they're just there.
And for those that are joining in progress here, we have in order, at least on my screen, we have Mr. BHB Bruce, we have JJ's House of Jams, and we have R2R3 Lockingnut hanging out tonight. So,
right on.
Yeah, we're just having a good old time on a Sunday evening. And now I'm hearing JJ possibly playing a freshly strung 550.
No. It's a Charvel, but it's a trippy one. Some of you may not have seen these ones. It's a wild card series. So
that's what I was waiting for. I know when I pull my Charvel out, you were show yours.
You know, I'm all about Charvels.
I love Charvels too.
This is they call it the primer scream, so it's all primered. There's no paint on it, and when they brought them out, you were meant to basically paint them yourself.
I like it.
Man, the fret markers are glowing, bro.
Yeah, they're like a neon yellow fret marker.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Which I love.
That's wild.
Beautiful. I love the black hardware with that, those maple head stocks. That just screams Charvel.
Yeah, and this one will pull back as well.
Okay.
So that was kind of a rare one for the Charvels.
So I have a question for you guys, since you guys are Charvel guys, and we know Charvel and Jackson essentially brother companies, right? Pretty much the entire existence. Do you guys find much of a difference in the necks on them? Like, The only thing I really notice is a slight difference. You know, let's say between a DK and like that. The bodies look largely similar to me or the same. All I see is a different headstock. So, what are the differences?
I haven't really played many Jacksons. I've never really been a Jackson guy. You know, Charvels, I know them, and all the Charvels I own are Japanese necks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I always sorted out the Japanese necks. And there's something about the finish work they do on them when they roll the edges, and the upper frets, they're almost slightly scalloped. I mean, whoever does their fretwork at that Japanese factory is just insane. And they're all the same. All my Charvels, you hold they're mental. Yeah, killer guitars.
Yeah, I own two USA Jacksons, and they both feel different. My 91 Jackson Rhodes, real thin, kind of a different feel.
Well, that's weird.
Oh, there, you're back.
Yeah, there's Bruce. Bruce is back.
I just dropped off. That was the strangest thing.
Yeah, I was about to message you. I'm like, do you need me to send you the invite again?
I don't know what happened. I mean, 120 meg connection speed is I thought was pretty fast for me to. What I did was I turned the camera off and then it just started doing some weird stuff. We'll try it again. Hold on.
Oh, we should be good there.
I see you guys still. Okay, this is weird. But we are having some weird weather too, so I don't know. R2, do you have the chat open? David Ennis is asking how you doing.
Yeah. Hey, David Ennis. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
We got Dave Byron in the house saying it.
Dave Byron, too. What's up, brother? My Chicago friend here.
Yeah. Now in Southwest Florida. Good to see Dave. Dave was live, yesterday, I think, for a little while. There, yesterday afternoon. That was cool. Talking about gigging around there and stuff. And we got Zach.
Showman Blues is here.
Showman's in the house, yes.
Yeah, rock on, Showman.
Good to see. Good to see. Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah, you guys got some nice Charvel. I really got to get my hands on a Charvel. I got to try some out.
Yeah, Ben, the Charvel, my Charvel that I have here, I mean, I own two USA Jacksons, and this Charvel just feels phenomenal. I can't describe it. It is so smooth. The frets feel great. Like JJ said, down towards the bottom when you get into higher frets, it's got a nice feel. And when you bend the strings, they don't flatten out or buzz out or anything like that. It's great. I can't describe it. So it's hard to compare a Jackson to a Charvel. Charvel is a unique beast in its own. The rolled edges and everything. It's so smooth.
Well, that's what I was curious about, right? Because I always think of them as essentially the same company, but that makes sense to me. Okay. And we got Michael Smith in the house, and we have One Blind, formerly known as Scott Nickerson, out of Edmonton.
Right on.
Nice. I hope Michael Smith is feeling better. I'm still trying to get through Johnny's late show. I think I'm through 3 or 4 hours watching Between Customers all weekend. I wouldn't miss a minute of it, though. If it takes me until Tuesday to watch it, I don't care.
I haven't even started it yet.
Those things are lots of fun, man. Those are great to hang out. I usually can't last. When I play the replay, I still see JJ in the chat. I don't know how you do it, brother.
What, last man hanging?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one time I had the weekend off there a few weeks ago, and I was like, Johnny, I want to do the late show. And Bruce tried to stay up through the whole thing too, and I'm just like, next thing I know, I'm looking down, it's 4:30 in the morning when we get off or something like that. And then we still keep talking because Steve's still wired, and I'm like, dude, it's pushing 5 a.m. I got to go to bed.
Yeah, Jay will say that. Jay will be, that's it, I'm out, guys. And then he'll carry on talking for another 45 minutes. He loves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy stuff. But gold. It's like...
absolutely. Friday.
You look at it, you're like, 4 hours. What are you going to talk about for 4 hours? And then it's just it's action packed. Like there's no low spots. Like, yeah, Johnny says it was crazy. Yeah.
And Caleb too. Caleb, he's a funny guy.
Caleb's a great guy, and I tell you, I did that hangout with him. What was that? 2 weeks ago, I guess. And talk about like steady video on my channel. I average a hit every 6 hours or so. Still, like over 2 weeks later, every 5-6 hours or so, someone clicks on it and checks it out. I think it's my second highest viewed video.
Nice.
So, but it was a good time.
Hey,
It was a really good natural conversation.
Like the ceiling? Thanks, buddy.
Nice. Yeah, Michael Smith saying Friday show was great. Everyone
Michael
giving
Smith,
up.
cool, man. How's Michael Smith feeling? No, he's
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. Captain Smith. I heard him ordained as that during the late show.
Probably cold in Colorado. They saw those pictures of that snow. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah. It looked like Christmas all over again with that steam engine covered in snow and stuff. And I was just like, wow.
It looked like a 100-year-old photo. It was awesome.
Very much so. So, how do you guys? Like, I know Bruce is a home player. Nothing wrong with that. JJ, are you gigging at all these days?
Not gigging. That's been a while. In another band, and we kind of, we're rehearsing and jamming and writing, and
right.
That's kind of the game plan. That kind of all happens here in this place, and they should be coming around later this evening actually. And yeah, the eventual goal is gigging.
Cool.
Yeah, back, just get back to gigging, whatever it takes,
Right.
Local, I'm down for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
but always playing, a lot of home playing. Everyone's always around here jamming out.
Sure.
Hey, JJ, by the way, that video you have, what's it called? User friendly? Love it, man. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah. I love, when you're posting some of your stuff there, and it was just a snapshot of a time and place, like I'm listening to the music and I was just, it took me like not only to a year, but like probably a particular month almost. And then I'm looking at the photos and you guys had the sound, you had the look. And I'm just like, yep, good times, and I was just like, wow. That band you were in, did you guys like, you did some recording, demo-wise at least there, from what I was reading in the descriptions. Did you guys do any touring at all? Or?
Yeah, we toured. The band basically went for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And, there was at one point we were doing almost a couple of hundred shows a year. We were non-stop touring all through Europe. And festival circuits, and then we were coming out to the east coast of the States, and yeah, we were non-stop for a long time. And
great.
Yeah, we were picked up with indie labels. We had all kinds of stuff going on in the early days. We were even once produced by Ron from Tapao. You remember the band Tapao?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had a kind of a different kick, and we were in his place for a week, and he kind of took our sound and kind of made it a bit more melodic. I mean, whatever they did. And he kind of took us up some levels. But we got picked up by the Limp Bizkit crew, and we got signed over here to Flip Records.
Wow.
And kind of that whole deal. And it's funny because that's kind of where it stopped. Once we were signed, we were just in studios, and it was just recording and just... We ended up getting shelved, and that was the end of that. But we had a good time doing it with them. But they pretty much did just put the brakes on the band from being a fully functioning band. Once you get caught into that whole deal, it was a whole different deal, man.
Sure.
But good times. We got there. We got up to that point, played some killer shows.
Nice.
I got a bunch more stuff. I mean, basically the stuff I was putting up online. I've got all that. We've got about 40 songs of back catalog, and they're kind of withering away on CDs and cassettes. So I've got everything digitized and all of the live footage. I've probably got about 20 plus hours of live footage, all the tour mayhem, and I'm going to download everything and just kind of get it all filed up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll
pretty
look forward to checking it out.
I'm pretty excited to see the old stuff. I saw some clips. I'm like, man, there's going to be some mayhem, you guys. I'm telling you, it was crazy times.
I'm waiting for some new video footage from you, JJ.
Of the new stuff, Helix and all that.
New stuff and some of the old stuff, more of it.
Some of the old stuff too, yeah.
There's plenty coming. Like I said, I'm going to pick up all the video footage on Wednesday. I handed over all the high eights, and they've all been digitized. And I'm just going to start down. And like I said, I've got about 20 hours of live concerts and just cruising around in the bus and just mayhem. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Nice. Jeez, it sounds like you almost have enough to do a mini documentary.
Well, that's kind of what it's going to be. I mean, we went for a long time, and I'm the one who's basically held on to everything. So, rather than it just sitting there depleting away, let's get it all digitized, get it up there on the YouTubes, and let it be seen from those history days, you know?
Do it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, it's cool. It was good vibes, man. It was good times.
I'm sure it's got to bring up or stir up a lot of emotions, too, a lot of memories, good,
It really, yeah. I mean, because it was a forgotten time to me. You move on, you have kids, you have, all of that, and getting back to that point and putting on. I was putting on songs I haven't heard. I can't even remember recording them. And I've been kind of going to different areas of friends and people around the world, basically, and trying to get music that has been lost as well. I picked up a CD today from my brother-in-law that I burned for him years ago, and it had about 10 tracks on, and 3 of the tracks, I can't even remember them. Can't even remember recording them. And the killer. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm looking forward to hearing that stuff.
Yeah, I'll get them all up there.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice.
Well, speaking of which...
that's me,
Yeah, Bruce.
No, I was going to say, speaking of which, Ben, were you guys still working on anything original?
We were going to do some arrangements work on Friday, but it took me a little longer to finish building the pedal board. And then we got hit with a massive windstorm, like 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So when Rich's fiance got home and she's like, we're avoiding trees down, power lines are down in various areas. I was like, you know what? I'm heading home.
Before it gets worse.
Yeah. Oh, we got Steve Anderson in the house. He says, is that Bruce? It is.
Yes, it is. Steve. Steve-O.
Yeah. How weird is this?
Right on.
We're on screen and we got Johnny and Steve.
The Rummeister.
They're watching us, right?
All right. Right on, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, and you, R2, you've had I can tell you've dropped a few hints. You've gigged once or twice in your time. What do you?
Oh yeah.
What's your kind of your background?
Those good times.
What's the thumbnail? Did you do any touring?
I did a lot of gigging here in the Chicagoland area. I played with. I was with my main band. Yeah, it was good times. I didn't play around like say the United States, but I played locally, and we did pretty good. We opened up for some good acts. That was in the early '90s, so it was a lot of metal bands, at that time. So I joined the band. There was just a lot of rock, and the reason why I got the USA-made Jackson Rhodes was I was going up on stage with a Fender 89 Japan-made Fender Stratocaster, and a lot of people were looking at me kind of like, who the heck is this guy? Right. I didn't fit the bill. So when I went up there with my Randy Rhodes V, good times, man.
Sure.
That guitar opened up a lot of things as far as my playing, having that Floyd Rose on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed back then, around that time, a lot of people were kind of afraid of the Floyd Rose guitar tuning, and it was great for me. It was tuning stability. That's what I used that handle, the Lockingnut. That Lockingnut saved me a lot of shows. I had one guitar, and that thing would never go out of tune. That's one thing. I love that guitar. I still have it.
That was the day where we didn't even have a pedal tuner. You had a rack tuner or a little Casio that everybody tuned with, right?
Exactly. So when I tuned up, I played that guitar. Another thing too about that USA made is it was a neck through guitar with poplar wings. So the stability on that guitar was unbelievable. So I know a lot of people, when they think of neck through guitars, kind of judge in a way. I mean, they think of BC Rich and Jackson, but I fell in love with it. It has a unique tone. It's different than the bolt-on, but that's a keeper. That's a guitar that I will keep. I haven't played it for a long time. It's retired. I just don't want to mess with it anymore. And
Sure.
I pull it out every once in a while. I actually have it right here next to me, in case you guys want to see it.
I really want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me go get it real quick here.
Yeah, break it out.
1 second.
Very nice. Johnny's been playing acoustic guitar all day, and Steve's been playing all day because he's got cabin fever. I got a bit of playing in today. Not much, maybe 20 minutes. So.
Oh, I got very minimal playing in today.
Yeah, it's good to see everyone in the chat came in tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We love having all of you guys. But I can understand, like, as R2's coming back here, too many people, I think, they don't realize guitars are tools, you know, and they do wear out over time. There we are.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I had some better lighting in here.
Wow.
I'm trying to see if I can get the mother of pearl inlay Jackson logo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I caught a bit of it there.
It's not your typical
it's beautiful.
white Jackson logo. It's this mother of pearl, and then
Look at that.
yeah, see, since it's black, you really can't see it.
Guitar by candlelight.
Yeah, I wish I had some better lighting in here. Yeah, so when I saw Shane pull out that V, boy, I was I was laughing, but at the same time going, oh, man, this guitar has been through a lot.
No doubt.
It went through a lot of gigs, neck through guitar. Yeah. I wish I had some better lighting in here, but this...
That's too cool, man.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're the only owner, R2? You're the original?
I'm the original owner.
Wow.
This is back in 91. I'll probably tell you guys my age now. I graduated high school in 1991, and this was my my graduation gift to myself. I saved up enough money, and I didn't want to get just a regular guitar. I wanted to save up for a USA made Jackson. I saw it on the wall at a local guitar store, and when I asked the guy to pull it off the shelf or off the wall so I can play it, he laughed at me and said, "Yeah, when you have enough money, you can play it." And he never took it down. So I brought mine in there. After I bought it, I went in the store and I showed it to him. I go,
Nice.
You just lost the sale, buddy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yep. I kind of miss those days when, it was more, a lot more mom and pop guitar shops, but, like you'd walk in and the guy's just a complete jerk. Like retail is the last thing on their mind, retail sales, and it was almost, you had to prove yourself worthy of buying a guitar from them. And, I kind of miss that in some ways, usually always a haze of cigarette smoke because there'd be 3 or 4 veteran musicians hanging out at the stores all the time. And even most of the employees were gigging musicians. So you would really take their advice on product information. They're like, if a guy's like, look, I've been gigging with this amp for the last 3 months and I haven't had a problem, you're going to take that to heart.
Well,
there's my rant.
I'm going to grab another one here.
Nice.
All right, JJ's going to show another guitar. While he's doing that, I'll be right back, guys.
Sure.
I'm going to just grab a beverage. Does anybody want a beverage while I'm up?
I would, please.
I have a cooler right next to my chair, so I'm good.
That's a good idea, Ben. I should do that.
I'm about almost out of my scotch here.
See, I'm a veteran.
Yeah, there you go. We got Ballast Point going here. Grapefruit sculpin. Not too bad.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. Steve Anderson asks, any Gibson news? Nothing really. Same as we heard on Tuesday. Chapter 11, restructuring, CEO out after a year. I think they'll turn it around. So, yeah, they just they overextend themselves buying a lot of companies over the years and just couldn't quite keep up the payments. It's you see that a lot. I don't know, in real estate. Someone will buy a house and then mortgage it to buy something else, and they mortgage that to buy something else, and they realize they don't really own anything. The banks own everything. Just overextend. Yeah, music stores have almost gone away. Dave Byron saying, yeah. And apparently Showman wants to see your Wolfgang again. Bruce?
Sure. If you don't mind, if you guys don't mind.
No, not at all.
No.
I'll show you a Gibson in between.
There you go.
Getting that.
There you go.
We're talking about Gibson.
Nice.
Is this one you picked up a few months ago, sir?
No, this is the 68. This was my touring guitar.
Oh, right. Nice.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Oh, I like that.
Nice.
Yeah, she's beat. But
road worn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's still I used to duct tape my strap. Even with strap locks. I used to use those, remember the like black plastic things, and you put them on and spin it round where they or something. I used to use them and then duct tape the strap to it. And you can still see all the duct tape lines down in here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's what's crazy is I pull this out here and there, and of all my guitars, nothing touches this for tone. Once this is plugged in, it just it blows everything else away. I mean, obviously it's got the Les Paul tone, but that's when they really built guitars, It's like that's Gibson right here. When all that news was going on, if it weren't for Gibson, I don't think I'd be playing guitar, because holding something like this and playing that, that's guitar, man.
Those are the original.
That's a beauty.
Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to say,
the original pickups,
ironically enough.
Yeah, it's all original. Yeah, it's all original.
Nice.
Yeah, my dad got me that
nice.
for my 18th.
Nice.
That was my 18th birthday present.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dave Byron asks, does it have the small frets?
It does. It has the I can't remember what they called them. It has the very low fret. So now it's real low because it's been played. And I've talked to people about refretting, but it's got the little overhang on it. And I don't think it doesn't need a fret job. It needs to stay as it is and just keep playing it when I can,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way I am with my 67. My dad wore those frets down, gigging with it, and it's pretty much has to be retired. But you play it once in a while here and there. But I can't gig with it.
Oh, you could still gig with this. I mean, they're worn, but there's a couple of areas, but nothing with as much distortion as I'd use with this guitar. You wouldn't even notice.
Nice.
It's an animal.
Yeah. So the 68, it's interesting. Because everybody wants to reissues the 50 stuff, but the 68, when they came back with the Les Paul, they started doing the pancake bodies. A lot of them had multi-piece wood necks and stuff. And then all of a sudden I see a few years ago, Gibson reissues the 68 as an option of one of the reissues. Why? Because they have a different tone, and it's a great tone. My first electric guitar was a 72 Les Paul Deluxe.
Yeah. Well, the 68 was the last year. That was when Gibson went through some issues and had to hide a bunch of wood from the 50s. And the 68s were made from those stashed woods from the 50s.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually 50s wood. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the story.
Okay.
That's why it sounds so good, man.
Oh, it's something, man. I wish you guys could just plug that in and hit an E chord, man. Fully, it's mental.
And that will go into the tone wood debate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I believe in it, man. I believe in that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Well, the wood's just sitting there curing for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So it's only going to get drier. It's only going to get more resonant. It just makes sense.
The best thing is no guitar's the same. There ain't one guitar that's the same, is there? Every single guitar
that's true.
on this planet is different.
Yeah.
Yep. No matter how close you can get in with the CNC work and, thousandths of an inch here and there, you still have somebody finish sanding that neck. Somebody's going to put their hands on it during the process, and that's where you get the mojo.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, how's the neck on that one, JJ? Is it fairly round, fairly thin?
It's a medium neck. It's not a super fat baseball neck, but it's up there.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, the
new
Les Paul with the
Yeah,
go on.
Are the Telecasters usually thick baseball sized neck?
The 50s ones are it seems like everything in the 50s. They did that more rounder neck, but I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. But see the 67, it's pretty damn thin, I'll tell you. And I love the thin necks.
Yeah, that Rosewood you played, that was quite a fat neck, wasn't it, R2?
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. It said it had a deep C neck, but it just seemed like it really
it is quite fat.
It filled my hand when I was playing it.
And you liked it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. The only thing was the action was high on it. But these are little things that I know when I get it home, I'll set it up and adjust it and so forth. But I just noticed it fit comfortably in my hand, and I started playing a certain style when I picked it up.
It's a beautiful guitar. It's a beautiful guitar, that Rosewood one.
Yeah. And I didn't even plug it into an amp. I was just playing it acoustically. I just wanted to see if the guitar resonated really nice.
That's Pixie's favorite guitar.
Yeah.
Out of all his guitars, he loves that Telecaster.
That Telecaster? Yeah.
Yeah. He loves it.
I can see why.
Those with the thicker necks have that nickname of the baseball bat neck.
Yep.
Yeah.
The older ones.
Yeah, I think it was the 50s. The 50s Les Pauls. They were the baseball bat necks.
No, they had the actual original.
Very round.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Jamal in the house. Hey, Jamal. Good to see you. It was fun hanging out with him last night on Shane's channel.
Yeah, that was cool,
I
man.
subbed to him, too. I don't know if it was the other night. I think when Shane was on your show, Ben and I went that night.
Hey, Fender Guru.
Have or not.
I'm holding my Wolfgang right now. Fender Guru is asking me what am I holding in my hand. Holding my Wolfgang that I put the eye bolts in.
Oh, there you go.
There. I just opened up Jamal's channel so I can sub to Jamal after this because this computer is super slow. So you will get a sub after this broadcast. In the blue, Shane says, Jamal, get back to work.
Nice.
And Dave Byron says, do you remember the Gibson Firebrand series, the Paul? How about Gibson Victory series? Strat style? I remember the Firebrand series. I never played one, but I remember the advertisements back in the day.
I remember the Paul. That's a rare guitar. They're beautiful.
And Mike himself is in the house. He says, hey, guys, love your vid today. Thanks, Ben. You're the man. Thanks. Which vid is that, I'm wondering? I didn't do a video earlier today. And Terry asked Jamal, where's my luggage? That's funny.
I was trying to figure out what Jamal was wearing yesterday. He was wearing that like fluorescent yellow suit there, the vest.
Yeah. Our metal stage says Jamal demands Wi-Fi as part of his pay.
Nice.
Wow. That's a good one. So, Bruce, do you have that Wolfgang handy?
I do.
All right. Let me present you again.
Sure, Wolfgang's better than mine.
I don't know. I just like mine because it's mine. You know what I mean?
Oh, he said, and Mike himself says the live one now. Yeah, you're more than welcome, Mike. These guys are great.
There it is.
All right, here's Let me see. Hold on. There we go. A little more clarity. Shiny. There we go. I love the chrome on it too. It was a nice touch for this.
Yeah.
Right on.
What size frets are those on it?
These,
Jumbo?
maybe. I'm not even 100% sure what they. I know how they feel when I play it. That's
See, I'd end up like Jay Hannon because I'd want the candy apple red, but I'd want the vintage frets, right?
Oh, I get you.
So,
yeah,
so I'd be all swapping necks. Who wants to trade necks?
they're not. They're not as. The neck doesn't feel as long on this as it does, like maybe on my Les Paul or on even on my my Telecaster. It's kind of funny. The length, it seems I guess it seems like it goes deeper into the body.
Oh, okay.
So,
Sean Mahoney says nickel silver frets, right? So they'd be larger because I don't think they'll do vintage sized nickel frets.
No, they're. But there's technical name. I don't. Jumbo.
Zach Thong asked Ben, "Have you ever seen Eric Shred's channel?" No, I haven't. I'll check that out.
Oh yeah, Eric Shreds. Yeah.
Yeah, I watch Eric Shreds. He did a SG build last night, didn't he? He's a character.
Cool.
Who's that,
Johnny
Eric
says they.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eric Shreds is that guy
Johnny
that does
says,
that
they-
LED lights in the amplifier, right? He
That's him, yeah.
lights up his amp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's PV6505. Yeah.
Nice. And we've got a report from Johnny Bean. He says the frets seem smaller to him, the newer special frets, the ones he played at NAMM anyways.
Yeah, they feel a lot. They feel smaller up here too. Up near past the 12th.
I wonder if they're taller. Hey, Bruce, are those frets taller, do you think?
See, I can't really say that because my Telecaster has the tall, narrow, and
Okay.
you know what I mean. So those are even taller than I guess.
That's one thing I noticed about that Telecaster I played today. The Telecaster I played today had vintage tall frets. And just kind of gave me like a scalp feel.
Dave Byron says he's going to sub all you guys. You rock. And I recommend that. If everyone isn't already subscribed to everyone here, give everyone a sub. Why not? Bruce has that wonderful Wolfgang video. JJ's posting all kinds of cool stuff, new stuff, old stuff. I don't know what R2R3 has on yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he starts posting a video here and there.
Yeah,
it gets addictive. Yeah.
JJ's got rockstar stuff.
PV.
Yeah. Ooh. Let's show this off. Present. There we go. Oh, look at this. Nice.
See that, JJ.
I got two of these. I've got a US one. Yeah, this one I think is where were they? Korea or China? This one plays so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. It was green. I think it's
in
like
June,
a green
right,
blue.
Bruce?
What's that?
I get to play a Wolfgang in June. Regardless, if you bring one, or there's going to be one at Sweetwater or one at Music Fest when we go up at the beginning of June.
Have some there, yeah.
Yeah.
They're killer, man. They're all based off that music, man. I mean, just the Music Man, the EVH, and the PV. They, as different as they are, they do still. I've got, they do still have a similarity for sure. The body dimensions, even though they're all slightly different to a standard guitar, they're squatted and in there, and you can dig in on those guitars, man. You're gonna love them.
Mm-hmm. Johnny said Korea. So
yeah, Showman, this one's a PV. I got one more PV to show you. Might as well get it out.
Cool.
We're here.
Nice. Right on, JJ.
Yeah, you guys have seen all my stuff a few times.
Yeah, my other stuff is too metal.
Too metal. We all go through that phase, my friend. We all go through that phase. I still listen to a fair amount of metal. It's just none of it has been recorded in the last 25 years, right?
Yeah, right.
I've been listening to a lot of Greta Van Fleet lately.
Oh yeah. Well, didn't you just got their album? Didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we were talking about that.
Yep. And there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of live stuff of them, a lot of interviews with them too. Young kids just tearing it up like Zeppelin.
Shane from In the Blue says, stay tuned to Dave Byron about that video. He purchased a wig. Here, let me present you, JJ. There we go.
Shane.
So that one's this is the patent pending. So that was before they got the patent.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
It's pretty sweet. This one's nice. This is immaculate. Again, awesome necks. Very similar the Chinese and this one, but the tone, I guess they're the same pickups, but the tone on the Chinese one's just insane. But beautiful. Yeah, this is all Johnny and Dave's fault, by the way.
You're telling
really
me.
Is. Yeah, I never
on,
paid attention to VVH guitars until those guys, and I love them. Yeah.
Well, even the Slippery Slope, like you've got me even looking at Charvels and stuff like that.
Yeah. Floyd Roses, you're getting an urging for a Floyd Rose. I think that's classic, man.
I know. It's crazy, and yeah, I think I want like a Wolfgang too because it is down. It's not full floating because I can't play a floating bridge. I do way too much palm muting and I push too hard. So
right. Oh, you set them up right. Nothing wrong with a floating heavy palm muting. Look at Dimebag. You know what I mean? Palm mute like an animal, and
True.
I think you'll get
when
used
you're
to
playing,
it after a while,
you're
Ben.
palm muting.
I know what you're talking about.
A shuffle, playing a traveling Wilburys tune, which I think would just be hilarious playing the Wilburys on a guitar with a Floyd, right?
Yeah.
I was saying to Richie one time, I said, I'm really thinking I want to get like a 5150 guitar. He goes, but you can never gig with it, for the obvious reasons, people yelling out, Eruption and stuff. I said, yeah, but we cover REM's Man on the Moon, and I play slide in that song, and I would use it to play slide to REM's Man on the Moon. Just for the optics.
Dave Byron says, here real quick.
Cool. Dave Byron says, Ben and Shane got me looking at a telly. Well, to quote Richard Shanahan, everybody needs a telly.
Yeah.
Oh, a Music Man?
Yeah, Adam EVH has,
top.
Yeah, this is a standard trem. Adam EVH has the sister to this one. This one, it's got a beautiful bird's eye on it.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, it has an awesome collection.
It's beautiful.
What a quilt.
Yeah, it's mental.
Look at the bird's eye.
Apparently, this one was made by an employee at Music Man, and he picked out all his parts for it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's...
Wow.
Yeah. It's mental. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Showman Blues just lost it.
Play insane.
Very nice. And they have a slightly smaller body, do they not?
Slightly smaller. When I first got this one home, my buddy Joe, who plays in the band, he's like, what, is that a toy? Because they really do look small, but you actually put them up against the Gibson. It's just the way they sit. The length's pretty much the same.
Okay.
But this thing's just a beast. They play
do you notice any kind of a balance difference between, say, the PV and the Music Man?
And when you're wearing it with a strap?
Yeah.
Not really. I've never really one who's really even noticed balance. I wore a Gibson Les Paul around my neck for so long that I think my shoulders and back are done.
I only noticed when I put an SG around and watch the headstock try to take my foot off. So
yeah, see, I can't play SGs. Even holding them, just how everything sits forward like that, it just trips me out.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't do it with an SGE, and I'd love an SGE, but they're just everything seems forward. My hand, everything's in the wrong position for me.
Right. Uh-oh. Looks
Yeah,
like
but
Michael
hey,
Smith wants to buy that one.
I'm seeing that on all of them. You know, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that thing's sick.
Yeah, every time JJ shows a guitar, the chat blows up. Although, yeah, apparently Mike himself gave me a warning. He told me not to buy a Charvel. Let's see. He bought one 5 years ago, and now he has 20, and he's almost divorced.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Right
I don't
on.
have to worry about that. I'm single, so I can have as many guitars as I want. I'm the guy that bought himself the BC Rich Mockingbird for Valentine's Day this year.
Yeah,
You remember that, Bruce? I sent you that photo, didn't I?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
funny.
It's like the day
Because
before.
now you don't
bought
have
myself a Valentine's.
It's gone now, right?
Oh, no, I still got it. There it is.
Ah, I thought you got rid of it.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no,
I thought you sold that.
no, I sold my Ibanez last week.
Oh, it was gonna be that, huh?
I
Is that-
did have an offer. Guy's thinking about it, so we'll see if he buys it or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You put that up.
Yeah. The Les Paul Jr. copy might be sold as well, but not till near the end of May. Okay, you guys will get a kick out of this. So, R2, you're not on Facebook, but I put up a post a week or two ago that I got some surplus gear I'm looking to sell, right? Just move some stuff, get some new gear. So, of course, I start getting messages within a few minutes on this and that. And one guy, he's interested in my little Les Paul Jr. copy. You know, and I'm not asking much for it. It's a really cheap guitar. So it's one of those things where if you live, you know, a certain distance away, it's not worth the drive to buy it for how cheap it is. He's like, and he lives a couple hours away. So he's like, I have a gig down near you at the end of May. So if you don't sell it by the end of the May, can you bring it by the gig and I'll pick it up? And I thought, yep, that's a musician right there. I'm going to be in your area in a couple of months. If it's still kicking around.
Deliver it.
Oh, and Steve Anderson's letting us all know he wanted to thank us for the ankle support. Yeah, of course, buddy. You know, we're glad you're pulling through. And he says he gets the cast off on Friday.
Right on, Steve.
Nice.
And Michael Smith says, JJ, you have to post some up-close photos of that Ernie ball.
Oh, definitely.
Which I would suggest post them in the
Sorry, go on.
Connects with Guitars Facebook group, perhaps.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll do that. Yeah, 40 shredders. This is the one I strung up the other day.
Oh, yes. Always wanted one of them.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. It's that black logo over the yellow.
And it's something.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's,
just,
it's that yellow.
I'm
Yeah.
sure everybody saw Joe Wentz, Gem Jr.
yes.
Yes.
That's beautiful, too. Nice.
That's cool, JJ.
See, that's the problem with guitars, right? You're like, but I don't have one of those.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, these are.
Yeah,
I got
like-
a collection of these. I'll show you my green one as well. While we're here, I'm gonna get them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a guitar show.
exactly.
Jay loves these.
Yeah. I almost put a down payment on a Brad Paisley Telly last week, but I was good.
I'm glad you held off.
Yeah, that like literally, I had Sean, the owner of Arden's, messaging me like, "Are you serious about it?" Because I guess he had a buyer interested in it, and he only currently has one in stock between the 3 stores. So somebody was inquiring about it. I'm like, dude, go ahead, make the sale. You can always get another one in, and I'll look at it later in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, selling
Hunter-
a Guitar Center for $800.
Wow. They're just under 1,600 Canadian here, so that's about 1,200 US. So we usually
What?
get dinged about $100, you know, just to have it shipped over the border, and then you have the exchange rate on top of that. So plus 13% sales tax. So yeah, I was offered. Well, I think Bruce, I told you the price I was offered on it, and they offered me a deep discount. Like I'm pretty sure it had to be store cost,
It's
or
hard to jump on
thanks
that.
for the sponsorship on the channel. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. Like I said to Bruce, I'm like, I'm really hurting here. I'm really on the fence. So, what do you got now, JJ?
She's another Ibanez. I've had this one for years.
Let's present this.
Greeny.
Yeah, I think they call these the deluxe or something. So it's another maple.
Right. It's not a scallop fretboard?
No, again,
it's just the way the light.
You know, if you look at it from the side, you would almost think they were scallops, especially the upper edges. It's the way they do them.
Oh, okay.
But this thing's pretty cool.
Hey, we got Lando in the house, all the way from Ottawa. Lando 27 Music. You should check out his channel, guys. He's got a lot of great videos.
Hey,
Lando.
Last video. Lando for a while. I watched
Lando's cool, man.
Yeah, so love my Ibanez's.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to Lando's channel.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice green.
That is cool, JJ. I don't think pulling out another guitar of it.
I know. See, this is when we present them. We can totally see what's going on now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might as well just leave the present.
Oh, he's coming back with something else here.
Yep, we'll just leave him presented. Yes, I'm curious to see this.
Oh.
We know I have a soft spot for those. I left you presented, JJ, and we're just watching you.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just like, oh, man. Oh, yeah.
God.
We all know that headstock. I hope Rich is still watching, because that is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a 96 Japanese.
I think that's the color that one of the colors Rich likes, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks very similar to his modern player telly he did, right, with the P90s. At least that's what it's coming across.
Green?
I think this one's got a slight fade to it because it's so old. And I think it was originally Daphne Blue, and now it's kind of
Daphne Blue. Okay,
where it becomes more. It's in between a surf green and a Daphne Blue.
Wow.
But I think originally it was Daphne Blue.
Nice. That's like Rich's dream Telecaster right there.
So this has got a fat. This has a fat telly neck on it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I bought this off a grandpa in Garden Grove. It was his nephew's guitar, and it had been sitting in his closet for like 20 years. And so when I called him, it was a Chinese guy. He said, hello, and it's the old grandpa wanted to sell me the guitar, and I won't even tell you what I paid for it.
Oh man!
Nice. Wow. Johnny's saying his main telly's the 96 Japanese too.
Yes,
amazing guitars.
Exactly. Amazing. He's probably got the same neck with a bit of beef on it.
And we have what's the name? I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. Sorg, S-O-R-G, Mansion. He says, hello, people. Up, Welcome. We always like seeing new people jumping in. Right. One blind says, JJ, when will you be going on vacation? And please forward me your address. If you can make the drive down from Edmonton, it's going to take you 3 days to get there.
Hey, Johnny Bean's still in here, right?
Yep.
You rock, one blind.
Here, Johnny, I got an 8-track for you here.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me. I'm going to present you real quick so Johnny can see it. There we go. There you go, Johnny.
Women and children first, Johnny. 8-track. I was thinking about you the other day. I've had to pull this out.
That is so cool.
That is so cool.
8 tracks. What the heck is that?
I love it.
Yeah. What do you mean you can't rewind?
Yeah.
Scott Nickerson, aka One Blind, is saying, Bruce, love that Wolfgang. Yeah. No, it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I do too.
Johnny's asking if you ever play it. We were discussing that earlier. He doesn't have an 8-track player, unfortunately.
It's cool to look at, though.
And
I like his shirt too.
Yes, he's had a couple of compliments on that shirt now.
Good stuff.
So Mike himself has a question, and I'm sure we've all been there. Do you guys ever regret getting rid of a guitar, and if so, which one? While you guys think of that, I will tell my brief story of my first electric guitar, my 72 Les Paul Deluxe, which I did sell. I didn't like it at the time because I had the mini humbuckers, and I couldn't get the full output to try to get that Angus Young sound, you know. And at that time, and we're talking the early 90s, when, you know, right before grunge was really taking off, and, you know, everybody was playing Floyd bass guitars, and I sold that guitar for $500 Canadian.
Oh.
And within 2 years, it was worth $2,000, and within 5 years, it was worth $4,000. Yeah, I just kept it a little longer. That's the only regret I have. But I had a choice to make. I had to sell a guitar because I had some bills and stuff. I had the Les Paul. I had a Strat. My dad looked at me and he says, "What's more versatile to play? A Les Paul sounds like a Les Paul, but a Strat, you can get a ton of different sounds out of it." So I stuck with my Strat. Shouldn't have. How about you, Bruce?
No, I never got rid of a guitar and regretted it. So
R2?
Yeah, I got rid of one guitar, and I'll never get rid of any gear ever again.
Here we go.
Cold dead hands.
It was an Ibanez J Custom. I really loved. It was I don't know if you guys remember, back in the 2000s, there was the owner of the owner of Musician Friends had on the credit card that you would get from Musician Friend, had this Ibanez quilted mahogany S series guitar on the credit card. Well, I had that same guitar. It was very rare. They only made a couple of them. I bought it, had it for many years, loved it, and had to get rid of it. It was one of those guitars, if I had to pick up all my guitars to get rid of, I chose that one, and I regret it because I sold it to a friend of mine, and he wanted a guitar. He wanted a real good guitar, and I sold him that one. And, well, he wound up selling it for twice as much as he paid for it, so he made out good. And
now, did he at least keep it for a while and it appreciated in value, or was it a quick flip?
Yeah, he had it for a little bit, and then he needed the money, and then he rubbed it in my face and told me how much he got for it, and I almost started crying.
How about you, JJ?
Well, yeah, now.
Yeah, mine was one of the original gems. The original, I had the blue flower Ibanez gem when the first that came out, and they were made. That pattern was made from Steve Vai's curtains in his house.
Oh yeah,
the fabric, yeah.
I had one of those, and I traded it in I think it was 95 for a Les Paul Studio.
That was in one of your videos. It was in a video, right, JJ? You had a picture.
Yes, you see me with that. With the blue that one.
I saw that, and I had to pause the video, and I had to stare at that guitar for a little bit, because I remember those.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I ended up. It wasn't the time. I'm in a grunge band, and I'm still cranking that Ibanez gem, and I wanted that Les Paul real bad. You know what I mean? I got a studio. Yep. I had my other Les Paul, but I wanted. You know when you get your mind fixated on something. That gem didn't matter anymore. I wanted that Les Paul, and I think it ended up being a straight swap. And I think back then the Les Paul Studio was like £600, which would be about $1,000 in '95. Right. But that's the one. You know, again, that was from my dad. Why I sold that was just being dumb. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, anytime I sell a piece of gear that I have any inkling that I want back, I always tell the guy, like, if you ever look to get rid of it, hit me up. Just give me first crack back at it. You know, if I have the cash, I'll buy it back. You know, and I've had pieces of gear that I've owned several times. You know, like I've bought, sold, bought back, sold again, bought back again, even. And like you say, those are like situations like you are too, where, you know, buddy wants a guitar or something. So I'll sell it to him. I'm like, if you're looking to trade up down the road, let me know. I'll buy it back off you. Sure.
Yeah, he did offer it to me. I remember he said he was going to sell it, and he goes, "You want to buy it back?" But when he was trying to sell it back to me, I'm like, "What? What are you doing, man?"
Yeah.
I'm going to end up paying more than what I paid for it. And so I said, "Good luck to you, man. If you want it, you need the money. Go ahead."
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't mine anymore.
Yeah, my Ibanez, when I traded it, it was at Anderton's in Guildford.
No way.
Yeah.
See, it all goes back to
I always used to go there to trade my gear because in Brighton they'd always screw us. But when I drive to Guildford, Anderton's, I traded a bunch of gear there. They always seemed pretty fair. You know, I was probably getting completely ripped off, but as long as I was walking out with something new, I was happy. But yeah, I did a lot of dealings with Anderton's back then with his dad. Yeah, funny.
Very cool. So, so when did you come over to the U.S.? Was that as a result of the band doing well, or did you move over?
Yeah.
Okay.
They brought us over here, and I ended up. Yeah, family, marriage, and everything else. But that was. I lived here back in the 80s. I came out here back in the day, surfing and hanging out. And we eventually came back out here with the band. The label brought us over here.
Nice. So you immigrated true musician style. You came out to work and then you end up staying.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You could have told me that, Bruce.
I
didn't have to type it in the chat. We're not in the chat. We're not watching.
I just saw that in the chat. I'm like, what is that?
That is funny. That is funny.
I didn't want to
throw you under
interrupt.
the bus once in a while. Well, okay.
But
So
what's funny about that, if you're not in the chat, how'd you know what I wrote? I put that in the chat.
Because, well, someone's got to monitor the chat. I figure it's my channel. I should have the chat open.
Well, that's why I figured you would see it. That's why I highlighted your name.
Nice. I love it. Yes. Showman Blue says, I'd like to have a couple of my PVs back. Had a Triumph, Impact, Milano, some other unique U.S.-made Mississippi plant. Yeah. Yeah, they made some cool stuff out of it.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back, guys.
Sure.
What about the opposite end of the deal? The guitars you've got for such a steal.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well, I have the unfair ones because I've had some very generous gifts. So, barring gifts, actually, probably I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go with my amplifier back here. I have an original 70s PV Classic, their 50-watt Fender Twin clone. I traded an Epiphone Les Paul Custom for it, which was where I think I was asking 400 Canadian for it.
Right.
And the guy offered me, he says, hey, I got a PV Classic 50. So I was expecting, an amp built in the last 10 years, tweed finish PV. And the kid shows up with this kid. Well, he's about 10, 15 years younger than me. Shows up with this amp, and I look at it, and, it's got the power switch that has 2 on positions depending on the phase of the circuit. It's got the square magnets on the speakers, and I'm like, this is an original 70s amplifier. I'm like, are you sure you want to trade for this? And he's like, yeah, man. I'm like, are you really sure? Because I'm a huge believer in karma. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm totally happy with this. And I had fought with that guitar. Well, Rich had to set it up so many times that we had to set up like a 70s Les Paul with 0 bow in the neck for it to not fret out. And it just barely played. And I was not comfortable playing that guitar. I gigged with it for about a year. Never truly fell in love with it, so traded it for that amp. And the amp needs a bit of work, but it's still a steal. Absolute steal. I think the amp's worth twice what the guitar is. Yeah. How about you, JJ?
Mine probably,
since you brought up the question.
I always look for deals, but I think my ultimate deal was a warmer Strat I got from a pawn shop in Orange County for like $150.
Oh,
I'll show you it real quick.
Sure.
It's pretty killer.
Are you showing that, Bruce? You ever get a really killer deal on something?
My acoustic, my first guitar, Sigma, made by Martin.
Yep.
I got a hold of that from a friend who I was in the Air Force with, who was from Arkansas. That's where I was stationed. And we went on the 4th of July, I wasn't going anywhere, so I went to his house, which was like 2 hours south. And I walk in the door, make a left, step down into the den, and it's just the walls are just lined with the guitars on stands, on the walls. And I'm just looking at him. His dad's just sitting there playing the guitar. So we started talking to him about it. He said, "Here." He put the guitar in my hand, started playing it a little bit, like he was, I knew some chords then. I didn't know much, but and he's like, he said, "Take it, borrow it for a month. If you like it, tell my son. I'll tell him how much, and you can write him a check." So I took it, had it for a month. He told his son how much for it. I wrote the check out, gave it to him. Never cashed it.
Really?
Free guitar. Never cashed. Yeah, never cashed. Guitar plays so nice. Such a sweet sound. So yeah, that was my deal.
That's a killer deal.
So let's see this guitar, JJ.
Yeah. Nothing on the headstock, but it is a Warmoth. I took the neck off and everything. It's got P90s, like humbucker size P90s.
Oh yeah.
And it's got a beautiful.
Wow! Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the gold Fender hardware. It's all like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And when I got it, I think they originally wanted like $500, and I'm going, "This is a parts guitar. Someone's made this out of different parts."
Right.
And he had no clue. And we ended up. I'd got a GNL off him previously, and I ended up getting this, walking out for $150. So
wow.
I always felt that because this thing plays like a beast. This is heavier than my Les Paul. Solid mahogany.
Oh wow!
It's crazy.
Wow. Nice. Johnny's asking, are those Fat Cats in it?
No, these are. Is it GSW? And you guys, they're cheaper. The cheaper brand. I looked into the Fat Cats, which are really good. But I think it's GSW, and they were like $30 a piece. And I did all the reviews, and I was looking online, and these were just getting such a killer review that I got them for like $30 a piece. Wired them up somehow, and they sound really good. So I'm stoked. Yeah, but I've heard good things about the Fat Cats.
Oh yeah. What about you, R2? Any super deals on a guitar? Sounds like someone's opening a guitar case. Excuse me.
Maybe he needs to get presented, so when he pops on his camera, he's good to go.
Oh. Good call. See, Bruce always has my back.
Yeah. Well,
there we go. We're presenting with. There he is. What do you got there, sir?
Oh. Sneak it in.
Look at that.
Oh, shiny.
Look at that flame.
Wow, that's pretty.
Well, since JJ say Warmoth, this is my Warmoth strap body. Right now, it's just the body with the pickups. It's got EMG pickups in it.
I like the color, though. Man, wow.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
That's gorgeous.
Get up near the top horn again. There's like some darker stripes in there. Ooh, yeah.
All up, yeah.
On the upper horn. Yeah.
That looks cool. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it looks like it'll burn you. So much flame there.
It's a mahogany body with obviously, the flame maple there. That looks good on there. Wow.
It does.
Yeah, I'm seeing some good stuff. I don't know how good it looks in person, but it looks good there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that looks cool.
Yeah.
And this is the neck that I have on it. JJ, this is the my 89 made in Japan Fender Stratocaster Rosewood neck.
There you go.
This neck is phenomenal. Obviously it goes there.
Yeah.
But I played this thing so much. This is the guitar that I started playing with all my shows that people started looking at me like, what is this guy playing? In a metal band playing a Fender Stratocaster. But yeah, this neck is phenomenal. This body, I've never seen it like this. I've even surprised myself.
When did you get that body right there?
I'm seeing flame. I'm seeing flame on here that I've never even seen before. Wow.
Yeah, the camera gets some good stuff sometimes.
You have a feeling next sunny day he's going to have that sitting outside, just looking at it in the sunlight. Just wow, look at this thing.
I'm gonna walk around with it.
Very nice. Well, since Bruce, you brought up for best deal as your guitar ended up being a gift, I will go a two-way tie of my 67 and 71 Tellys since they're both gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
One's an heirloom, and the other one, like, I'm sure most of the guys know the story, but we got a few new people in the chat. When I started playing in the band with Rich, our previous band together, Smile Harder, went for a different tone. I was playing nothing but Les Pauls, drop C tuning, which we will do that rig rundown, R2, in the future, my one day to live rig rundown. But I wanted something different, so I said, I'm going to play a Telly, and I started saving up just to buy, a Squire Telly, something that I could play, because I really don't want to gig with a, 50-year-old guitar. And so I gigged with this one, the 67, for one summer until I bought my Mexican Telly. And then I was playing it, and I posted something late last year, or my cousin posted something out in Edmonton, in Scott Nickerson's neighborhood. And I said something, we got to talk about Tellys anyways. And he's like, are you still playing your dad's Telly? And I said, no, I had to retire it because I didn't, if somebody stole it, one, it's a 67 Telly, but two, it's my dad's Telly. I can't replace my dad's Telly. And immediately, as soon as he heard the story, he says, what's your address? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he told me that, like, he lived with us briefly in the late 70s, and one of the first Tellys he ever played was my dad's. He fell in love with it and started collecting Tellys as a result. As a touring musician in the early 80s around Canada, picking them up for $200-300 at the time. And so he sent me that 71 Telly as a replacement, and the only deal is I have to gig with it and keep it till I'm old. So I said, done and done.
Wow.
So family, great guy. So, yeah. So, Brad, if you're watching, thank you very much. Yeah, and I was gigging with that. I played that thing, my first gig after New Year's. Turned out, if you guys remember on some of the older videos, I had a chunk of paper stuck in one of the nut slots because it was fretting out. When Rich went to replace the nut, Showman Blue sent me a brass nut, and when we went to put it in, the factory nut was actually split in half, and that's why the string was fretting out. So I was playing it with a broken nut. The electronics were half hanging out of it because everything was loose, and yeah, neck pickup didn't work. But I'm like, I don't care. I'm gigging with this thing the first opportunity. So,
how do you like gigging with it?
Oh, it's my number one, dude. Well, we did that gig 2-3 weeks ago. I did 4 sets with it, with the modified wiring, so I can now get a Strat sound out of it with the 2 pickups. That's the 4th position on the switch, and I was using that for a ton of my quote-unquote humbucker type songs. I was using the out-of-phase sound with a medium overdrive. Oh, phenomenal playing. It's very microphonic. It does have a lot of buzz in it, so I'm going to do the ground shielding inside, get that taken care of. So,
right,
once it's better grounded, it'll be a lot better. So, yeah, put the modern bridge on it. Yeah, love it. I'd show it, but Rich isn't on, and it's at his place. Otherwise, I'd have him show it off. So what you got there? Is that your? I've gone to bed. He works out at like 7 a.m. So
it's my Charavel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that color.
Natural mahogany.
Nice. I like it.
Now that I got some better light in here, I can see the actual wood grain in here.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
But this pickup, guys, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Seymour Duncan Custom 5.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the owner from the Music Zoo.
Right.
Dave Nesdahl talks about the Music Zoo. Great music store. I mean, when I got this guitar here, what wound up happening is I kept on talking about it online. This is around the time that I didn't want to get any more pointy guitars, and I was thinking of getting a Fender Stratocaster. I wanted the Strat body, but I wanted something hot rodded at the same time. And I kept on talking about this guitar. So what did my wife do? She went and ordered it for me.
Wow.
And bought it and talked to the guy from the Music Zoo. And they had this little quiet thing going on back and forth, and next thing I know, it comes to my door. And so this thing is always going to stay with me.
Nice.
Plus, this guitar is just phenomenal.
Nice.
I mean, I if you guys were in here in this room, I'd let all you guys jam this guitar and tell me.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think we're all kind of that way. I swear, if any of us showed up on each other's doorstep, I'd be like, "Come on in, play whatever you want."
Yeah,
you know?
man.
Yeah.
I guess that Custom 5, that was designed by the general public.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, they just put it out there and tell us what you want out of a pickup. And that's what the Custom 5 came from.
Oh, cool.
Wow. I've never heard of it until I got the specs on this guitar. And even this cool rail. I mean, I'm not really into the hot rails guitar pickup.
Right.
No, neither am I.
I mean, it's cool, but when I plug this thing in, it's wow. I do a lot of bends, and when I do in the neck pickup, and I do a lot of bending, it is so smooth. It's got a single coil sound. I
beautiful.
can't describe it. But this thing is unbelievable. This neck is unbelievable. They call it gun oil. I know they use certain kind of things, but for some reason they said this is a gun oil finish. And I don't know what's on this thing. This is smooth. Unbelievably smooth.
Oh.
It's got the skunk stripe in the back, and it's got the Charvel neck plate in the back. And on the back of the headstock, you can't see it, but there's a little stamp on there that says TMZ for the Music Zoo, and it's got a serial number. And
cool.
Mike Shannon built these necks for the Music Zoo, and I got the card that says Sean Silas set up everything. So the electronics in here is all Sean Silas. I got the card. It's a keeper.
Nice.
This thing
That is a keeper, buddy.
Yeah,
Wow.
no doubt.
I never thought I would like a natural guitar. You always look for flame and paint, but man,
this
thing is solid.
You guys
One
remember
piece, there's no...
Yeah, you'd watch those concerts back in the day. They broadcast on TV somebody's birthday, anniversary, right? You'll have like the 8 guys up on stage, from bands that were popular, say 10, 20 years earlier. And I remember, especially in the early 80s, all these guys had what looked like Strats and Tellys and Les Pauls, but then they'd zoom in and there was never a name on the headstock because they were all custom shop guitars based off Fenders and Tellys. But they're all like, your natural wood finish. I always say it's your middle-aged and older guitar, the natural wood finish, but it's like, it's still going to be modded to the teeth. And, it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous guitar, man. That's what it reminds me of. Like something Skunk Baxter would be playing or something, just something modded. But subtle.
It got a bit of weight to it, R2? Bit of weight on that guitar?
It's not bad. I mean, it's a solid piece of mahogany. It's got some good weight to it, but nothing where it would kill my shoulder. Right. And I done a lot of I was trying to do modifications to it, and I wound up putting it back to the original for some reason. I mean, this is the original Floyd Rose that's on it. Unfortunately, with this one, that's what I was asking David Nesdahl that one time in the chat, that I noticed on the chrome here, it started flaking. So I wound up getting a 1984 Floyd Rose, and then I put this on my Wolfgang. And I just didn't like the 1984. The bar was too low, and it was hitting the volume knob.
Okay.
And so I wound up putting this back. Gave the 84 to my friend. We did a little trade swap with gear, and he uses it on one of his guitars. But
nice.
try to put the brass block in the back here. And usually you would block it, but this has a little bit of a, you can pull back a little bit. I kind of like it that way. It's kind of a little bit of floating. It's not recessed. A lot of my guitars are recessed Floyds. This one I just like a little bit of a play. It's kind of like a Fender Stratocaster.
I was just thinking
that,
like when you
just
float a
has
full
enough.
Yeah.
Just enough tremolo play on there. So
I got a question for you guys that play these Floyds and such. What is it with y'all taking the cover off, the spring cover off the back all the time? Like, I just think I'd get my belt buckle tangled up in the trim springs. But that's just me.
Isn't it, most of the guys that futon it, the block sticks out to begin with, so you can't put the cover on.
Well, there we are.
So, some of them do that. This one is not bad. I don't know. I think, in case you're wondering what that number is, I number all my guitars.
I noticed.
That's cool. When I get a guitar,
That's cool.
I put numbers on them. So obviously this is number 7.
Nice.
But yeah, Ben, it's I don't know what it is. It must be a Van Halen kind of thing.
Just because it's like when they say, if your buddy, if Eddie Van Halen jumps off a building, are you going to?
Yeah.
Does it change the resonance? Does it change tonality at all?
You know what? It's odd as it seems. When I have the plate off of it and it rests against my body, when I do dives or whatever, it doesn't. You don't hear that vibration of the springs. But sometimes if you get it off your body, you hear the rumbling, and some people like that. Johnny knows what I'm talking about, but. I just never put it back on. So most of my Floyd guitars are just open back there. Just easy to adjust if you need to do it. But once it's all set, it's all.
I was always curious because every time I see the back of a guitar with a Floyd, everyone's got the bloody cover off, and I was like, no, I always wondered.
Yeah, I just don't put it back on. I don't know. I mean,
I guess
I've seen circuit people that don't even put the plate back on the electronics.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that. No,
I can't do that. Just I don't know.
So that poses the question, guys. They used to put the ashtrays on over the bridges on the Telecasters, and everybody lost them back in the day. And now that's the super high-end sought-after item. So in another 20 years, are we going to see on eBay, $1,000 for a Charvel trem cover?
Back.
Because everybody's lost them over the years.
We don't lose the backs, we lose all the little tiny screws that hold them in. That's what we lose.
Yeah. They're so tiny, yeah.
As soon as they come out, I'm like, dude, there was 6, now there's 5. I'm over it.
And available through Fender, a replacement plate with screws. The plate alone is $5. The screws are an additional $50.
Yeah. And there'll be one missing when you get it.
Yeah.
We'll actually send you 7 because we know how you are, right?
Yeah, they should do that.
Nice. Yeah. You're going to include, your 2 Allen keys with the Floyd Rose guitar and an extra screw for the plate cover if you choose to put it back on.
Hey, Michael Smith, rock on, bro.
Yeah. Be safe driving. He's got a 7-hour drive to Kansas tomorrow. So be safe, brother.
Rock on, Michael.
Yeah, we love you, man.
Take care, Mike.
I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, man.
Dave Byron says, I personally don't take the plate off. If I play behind my head like Hendrix, my hair will get caught in it. Yeah.
Same here, right?
Yep.
Hey, Ben, one blind, is that, you said Scott Nickerson?
Yes.
Scott Nickerson, thanks, bro.
Yeah, Scott's a great guy. We chat from time to time and stuff, through Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. And he's a good guy. Dave Byron's a pretty good guy, too. I don't know if you guys seen, he's just started going live in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, for sure. I support Dave Byron.
Jumped on.
Yeah, a great little channel you got there, Dave. If anyone in the chat, if you're not already subscribed to him, he's been going live intermittently and then putting stuff on from his gigs, and he offers a different perspective that I haven't really seen. Right. And Dave, don't take it the wrong way in any ways, because I have done plenty of gigs similar to what he does, but he does a lot of single stuff, duo stuff in a smaller setting, like restaurants, pubs type thing. So. He's not playing up on stage, in a stadium or quote unquote bar gigs like I do, where your feet are sticking to the floor from the beer, and it has a beautiful combination of urine and body odor, permeating throughout the building.
What it is, it's busking style gigs. I have a friend who
Yeah,
does.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So he was telling me about all the benefits. A friend of mine who does do stuff like that, and you work for yourself. You don't have to figure out how you're going to get along with 3 or 4 other people. I mean, I'm sure some people enjoy that. That's part of the socializing and everything. But some people, it's harder that way, and it doesn't always work out. So, a friend of mine's incredible, but he just prefers to do it alone.
Oh, Johnny,
keep all your money.
Sorry to interrupt you, Bruce. Johnny just says he posted a pic of 2 of his creamers he wish he still had to the Canucks page. Actually, to the Canucks page. Awesome. I'm going to check those out once we're off air. Or, yeah. I don't
Hey,
want to
Johnny,
use any more
since
bandwidth.
you're still on. Johnny, I use these EVH picks, the nylon ones. But I know, I forgot the name of the brand you were using that you said that were similar to the EVH picks.
Right. Yeah, were those the pics he got? James Orcott sent him, I think?
Yeah, James Orcott got them, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember the name. Yeah, it's on the tip of my brain. Yeah, no problem, Dave Byron. Yeah, he, well, we've talked to him in the live streams. He played in bar bands back in the 80s and stuff. Herco. There we are.
All right,
yeah,
Herco.
and I love his perspective on stuff. He's got a great attitude about it, and he's like on live, unscripted, and you might do a few ums and ahs, and who cares? We're all just we're all family, and it's expanding every day. There's new people. We see new people jump into Johnny's chat. We see new people on my channel. Joe Wentz. We should give Joe a shout out. Man, we haven't talked about Joe at all. Joe does all kinds of stuff. He helped me get started along with Johnny, and that stuff is.
I think Ben, I think that's when you and I started chatting a lot in the chat. Because one thing I do remember that I know he didn't mean it in a mean way, but Joe Wentz would always call you Ben Coombs.
Yep.
And he would always go, "I'm sorry," and I go, "Poor guy, man. He keeps on saying his name wrong."
Yeah. I remember that because that would have been around early December, I want to say. Mid-November, early December. Yeah. And so I messaged Joe on Facebook, and because a lot of people mispronounce my name. And I said, no worries, bud. It's all good. Just wanted to give you a heads up. It's pronounced this way. King Joe had to call me to apologize, right? Southern gentleman that Joe is. Joe, if you're listening, I love you, buddy. So he called me, and we ended up, shooting the breeze for about half an hour. And then I think it was like a day or two later, and I think I might have gone live once so far, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to do a hangout tonight?" And I'm like, "Sure," and so Joe had me on, and I think a couple nights later, our Metal Stage podcast had me on, and I was like, I don't know why anybody would want to talk to me, and he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I got like 30 subscribers. I'm just a guy in the chat," but that's also why I started this channel, was for us to have a place to hang out when Johnny and Joe weren't on, or Steve from Boston, and all the big guys, Phil McKnight, and
our Metal Stage,
Shane, and because I remember, Bruce and I, we became fast friends as well, and I remember when I was starting the channel, asking him like, do you think 8 p.m. on a Thursday, because Johnny at the time was doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't want to step on him. And he's like, yeah, like let's do that at that time. And I remember you and me, R2, talking. You subbed to me. I still remember it was a Steve from Boston live stream, and the chat just flies with Steve, right? And you were asking a question, and I am of the opinion, if I know the answer, obviously I want to give whoever's doing the show a chance to respond. But if it's like baseball, 3 strikes and you're out. If you ask the question a third time and the person hasn't answered it, I'm going to tell you the answer. Especially if I know hands down what it is.
The chat moves so fast sometimes you have to ask.
And then we
I don't mind if somebody knows what's going on. If they want to answer, great. As long as you're not giving me like a smart-ass remark or something.
Exactly. And I'm thinking, well, you don't know me from Adam. And I remember I'd answer, and it was like we had a conversation. It was like 2 or 3 points. And next thing I know, you're like, man, you know your stuff. New subscriber, R2R3 Lockingnut. And then like Bruce subbed to me a week later during one of Johnny's shows. And that's when it got me thinking, because I got like 4 or 5 subs in a 2-week period, and I thought, well, maybe I could contribute more than just in the chat and try doing this thing live.
Yeah, because you said you wanted to. You said on the chat that you were thinking of doing something like this, and I said, why not, man? I mean, I jumped on. We have to give the shout out to Johnny Bean, Joe Wentz, Our Metal Stage, Sinner, Adam EVH, Jim Guidry, all those guys, man.
Yeah.
I jumped on because people were talking about Floyd Rose and R2R3 locking nuts and so forth, and I went, whoa, what is this? Somebody's actually talking about Floyd Rose. Oh, my goodness. So there we go. I mean, it's the wildfire. I go, wow, finally somebody actually likes Floyd Rose guitars and this and gear, and it was great. And this is great, all this community that we have here. I mean, we all of us here, Ben, you're into Telecasters and Gibsons and JJ's into multiple things.
All of them, man.
JJ's everything. Yeah, nice.
I mean, wow, man, that's awesome. I mean, and I was one of those guys that I love Fenders and Strats and Telecasters, but when I was playing the music that I was playing, it was all rock and metal, and so I had to live up to the whole thing. I mean, I love playing that style of music, and when the grunge era came, I mean, somebody having a Floyd Rose or playing a solo, it was like, what are you doing, man? And I stuck with it. I mean, I like, doesn't matter, music is music, and guitar players, and I didn't like when people said that you can't play a solo on this or that. That sounds terrible. I was like, no, man. If it sounds good, it sounds good. You got to do it, and this is great, man. We're all coming together. I mean, all of us are all different here, and that's great, man. I love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Shane into blues. I mean, you're into blues guitar, and I mean, it's fun to poke fun at people having pointy guitars and this and that, but all I look at it is gear is gear. It's got 6 strings. You play it, you love it, man. Amplifiers. I mean, I got 4x12 cabinets in my family room in my garage. I can't get rid of them because nobody. How am I going to ship this out to anybody? And now I don't even know what to do if I were to walk into a gig. When I played shows in a gig, you came up with your rack gear. That was the thing that I had. Rack gear with ADAs and power amps, and then I went on to the Mesa Boogies, and I went crazy with that. I mean, I ordered custom shop 22 space shock mount Mesa Boogie racks. That's how crazy I got. Because I was afraid that
I knew you would that, JJ.
I knew that. I remember I custom ordered it at Guitar Center. I went in there and I want a 22 space shock mount Mesa Boogie rack, and they were like, what are you doing, man? But I just wanted, because I was afraid that people were going to mess with my gear and drop it, and the Mesa Boogie stuff was my stuff at the time. It was John Petrucci and James Hetfield. Everybody was using the Triaxes, and I had to get it, and I saved up my money. And once I got that thing, I played it, and I lost a lot of friends because people were playing amps and gear, pedals, and so forth, and they looked at my stuff like I was the pilot of an airplane, of a cockpit, when you lit this thing up.
I remember the day that when people would look down on you for playing with pedals, and you're like, I'm sorry, I can only afford pedals. I can't afford rack gear.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to play shows, and everybody had their heads and their 4x12s and their gear, and we would look at people with pedals and little tiny amps, and we'd go, come on, man, you can't hang. You can't hang with us. Yeah. Now, there was a time that those guys turned it on us, and it was a simple amplifier rig, and they looked at me like, get off the stage, bro. What is this? And
where you could have a handful of pedals, but you couldn't have an actual pedal board. You had to have them all running off battery, scattered across the stage. And
tell the drummer to get my pedal back.
Yep.
How was that?
Shout out to Dave Byron out there.
Yeah.
I bet that tone was sick, R2, through your rack system. I bet you had a big
Oh.
tone.
Yeah.
Monster.
I still have my Tri-Axis and my Mesa Boogie
Wow.
Simulcast 290. Jay Hannon, I know, has that same power amp, and it's nice to finally hear somebody have something like that.
Right.
I don't play it anymore. I was going to sell it, and then I found out they discontinued the Tri-Axis, so now I'm going to hold on to it.
Right.
I got notebooks, notebooks of notes that I wrote on every channel and amp. That Tri-Axis. I don't know if anybody knows what the Tri-Axis the preamp is. It's Mesa Boogie's. Basically, all their amplifiers and their preamp, which is the Mark 1, the Mark 2, the 2C Plus, the Mark 4. The one that I have is they don't make at that time they were limited edition as far as it had a special board for the rectifier. Everybody knows what the rectifier amplifier is.
Not a Soldano.
I had. Right, yeah. When I heard that, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Looks like we got Johnny Bean says he used to carry all his effects pedals in a duffel bag and we'll hook them up one by one on the stage itself. So Johnny was one of those guys, see? Yeah. And then Dave Byron says, remember the Marshall MOSFET? Yeah, buddy. There's one right.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
Do you still have R2 presented?
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, he's been for a while. I'm thinking this is the R2 show now. He took over. It's doing great too, man.
It's the Bruce show. I think that's Bruce.
It's not
Once again, Bruce has my back. So yeah, I got a 80s MOSFET lead 100 right there, Dave Byron. About an 85 or 86 model. Great little lamp. Don't use it, but it's a great little lamp. Awesome.
Yeah, I've still got my Marshall JMP rack unit. That thing was sick.
That's one. That's the only preamp I didn't get, JJ. I was this close. I had pretty much all of them, and I was one of those guys that was either Marshall or Mesa Boogie, and I stuck with the Mesa Boogie. Now I don't care. Gear.
Hold on to that rack stuff, guys. The rack stuff. You're gonna see the collectors of rack gear. We're trying to buy all those '80s pedals.
Like
the
Louis
next thing's
from
the rack gear.
Tone King. Yep. That guy has rack gear. Wow.
I was looking at a bunch of some rack choruses and delays sitting in a pawn shop, and they're giving them away. Like each single space rack units for like $60 to $100, and it's just like. Yeah, because nobody wants it. And the kids have no idea what it is.
Yeah. Well, the rack gear was all that programming. I would sit there for hours at hand, program all the effects and channels, and this amp would go with this chorus and delay or reverb and so forth. And now that's what's going on with these. I mean, JJ, that's one thing I forgot to ask you, man. The
Helix?
Yeah.
I was waiting for the question.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's blowing my mind. I mean, I kept a couple of pedals because I just couldn't get rid of them, and I just got rid of the lot. And, at NAMM, I checked out the Kempers before, but at NAMM, I watched that live show that they did, and I just been checking them out, and it's something else. It's mind blowing. The tones. Even just yesterday, I kept my 10-band MXR EQ, and I kept that in the loop because the way it beefed up my amps is just so incredible through the effects loop, having that in the back of the loop there, and I put it up against the Helix. I hadn't used their Helix 10-band amp in the same 10-band EQ in the same way, and up against my MXR pedal, the Helix even killed that. I had it in the same layout. Once you get a Helix in front of you and you see the workings, it all looks very confusing. It's super simple. It's just your pedal board on the floor. But the routing capabilities, crazy. And I'm a tweaker. I'm a full pedal tweaker. So
now, does that one also offer, is it just line 6 effects, or does it mimic also other companies' effects as well? Because that's where I have a problem. I'm such a snob when it comes to companies.
No, they're copying everyone, like everyone else is. They're copying, you know, you've got the OCD in there, you've got the Klon in there, you've got the Timmy in there, you know, the 808, all your distortions in there, all your drives, all your fuzzes. I mean, it is kind of wrong, but here it comes. It's 2018, you know. I
didn't want to hear that, JJ. I just built a board.
Hey, you got my own board, but you got my old board, you know.
Yeah.
Remember back in the day when digital came out back in the day in the 80s and 90s? Was it even digital? The little Zoom players and all that stuff, and it just.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're all into the sounds, but you put them through amps and PAs, and it would disappear to nothing. But
yeah,
you know, Line 6 have just, you know, for all the barrage they got in the early 2000s and the late 90s, they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and they never let it go. And yeah, I'm blown away. I mean, I did get a little depressed when all my pedals went, but I'm a believer now.
Hey, JJ, you use a lot of effects now in your band? You use a lot of effects with the songs that you're playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fully over affected almost. You know what I mean? Big reverbs, big delays, massive.
I went backwards there. I went from having all those effects to now plug it into a straight 5150 with an overdrive and a delay in the. I just wanted to go back to the basics, go back to what everybody was going, you know, was doing when I wasn't doing it.
Sure. Yeah.
And, but I
run programs, so you know, I'm like, you know, all the music I do, it's almost got a dance vibe to it as well. And I have sub basses going. It's like the Prodigy with heavy guitars. You know what I mean? It's cool. And melodic singing. That's kind of our vibe we go through. So it's very intense and it needs the effects.
Yeah. And Steve Anderson had a question. What is a basic pedal board that you guys recommend? Now, I'm curious if he means a pedal board or a multi-effects unit. If you're looking at just like an actual pedal board to put pedals on, I like Pedal Train myself. Rich has been gigging with one for years.
Pedal Train. Yeah. I remember Dave Byron on his one of his live things. He was talking about this the Furman pedal board, powered pedal board. I used to have that. It had the Velcro on it. You would lay all your pedals on it, and it was all powered. But now I've gone back to just the simple it's like a pedal train when you put 4 pedals on it.
Yep.
But, I mean, everybody's got their own thing going on right now. I'm not gigging or anything. I'm just playing at home. But for JJ, I mean, that's got to be cool, man. I mean, to give up your pedal board and give up all this stuff and go into the Helix, that's got to be cool.
It kept growing. I was about to dump a bunch of money into a couple of synth pedals, you know, the electro-harmonic synth pedals.
Yeah.
I love those things. Yeah, that would have been $400 or $500 right there in 2 pedals. Yeah. So I'm like, you know, at some point it just grows and grows and grows, you know. And I'm loving the Helix. I'm loving the Helix.
You're able to use other outboard effect pedals on there, right? You can connect them in the loop of the Helix.
Absolutely. Yeah. So right now I'm running mine in 4-cable method. So I go through 2 stereo amps. So I'm using my amp tones. I can run model amps through if I want, but I'm using amp tones in 4-cable method. And then all the Helix pedals in the front or in the back of the amp. And that's pretty much how I run it. And then I run 2 stereo out straight at the computer. So when we're rehearsing, basically everything we record is coming through the Helix straight into the computer. And drums, it's crazy.
Nice.
The routing's what took me to another level.
Yeah. There's another... or follow-up for Steve, there's another pedal board company. They're very similar to Pedal Train. I'm trying to remember the name, but it's escaping me. But Arden's Music are one of our channel sponsors, along with Renault Finn Guitars. I figure I should plug them in 2 hours in. They carry a new line of pedal boards that look great, Steve. Check out Arden's Music. And they have free shipping in Canada if you spend a certain amount. So there you go. There's my little plug for them. JJ,
sorry. Yeah. I was just had a question on Positive Grid. I don't really know much about Positive Grid. They were a big name about a year ago, but I'm not seeing them so much anymore. I don't know what's going on there. But I heard good things a year ago.
That pedal board that you gave me, which thank you very much, by the way. You see, I've been putting it to good use.
Yeah, no kidding.
How long did you use that board for?
Probably about 5-6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I love many transformations.
I love the note that you had scribed into the dust on the inner cover. I'm really going to clear coat over top of that, so I'll see that every time I open the pedal board.
Yeah.
I love that.
Hey, it's a good size. As massive as it looks, now you got your pedals. It shrinks real quick, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just noticed that when I'm doing the live build, I'm like, okay, and I'm going to curl the pedals around this way. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
work
love
out good.
it.
I hope you get good use out of it. And yeah, man, it looks killer. It looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It turned out great. Yeah, it worked out. I did daisy chained a few pedals together, you know, out of the power outputs. And I love how if you put one too many pedal on the chain, it just says nope and it won't work.
Right.
I wasn't aware, you know, that great power supply. And it worked out. I got every pedal powered with using every available slot, and it just worked out perfect. And I couldn't be happier. Yeah. That's why I took a picture and I was just like, I'm posting this right away. You know, yeah, we got absolute mayhem in the house. He made it home. He had stopped by the shop earlier today and stopped in, said hi just before 3 o'clock. So awesome.
You're late, absolute mayhem. You're fired.
I think he was helping somebody move. So.
Oh, you're excused. Okay.
Yeah. And he got his Schecter back, the one that I did the setup on. Once I did the setup on it, the neck settled, and there was a slight fret buzz. I just couldn't get rid of it, so he took it into a local shop. They charged him next to nothing. They got him hooked up, so it plays great now. Oh, and he picked up a new webcam as well. That's right. Awesome. He's got a new webcam that has a green screen ability. So
nice.
We're talking about that. I'm curious to do that. I wanted to do that, and I was going to take a shot of Johnny's place when he's away from his chair, and then pop in and have his background on his show. Complete with EVH.
No, I'm Johnny Bean.
Very nice. So anybody else have any questions in the chat here? I'm just curious. I know we got Bruce up past his bedtime here, so.
Yeah. I guess. What time is it?
And Sorg asked earlier if when are you going to start branding yourself and sell T-shirts with your pick on it? Well, I do have T-shirts. There's a link right down below here.
Or you know, there's a.
Or you can have Bruce or R2 stand up because they're both wearing said merch.
Yeah.
So there you go. Canucks with guitar shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. I wasn't sure I should do that. You know, again, you know, you have the feelings when you have a small channel, but the way I see it, the channel's not going anywhere. So, you know, they're there. And then I had a few people asking about them. So I thought, hey, if I sell one shirt, fine. You know, and that money goes back into the channel anyways.
So we're at the Guitar Center, man. People were asking me about it.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Looks like Dry Heat's headed out. Have a great night, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Sorg
Dry
says,
Heat. Have a good one, man.
See you, Dry Heat. Sorg says this is a great channel. Thank you, Sorg.
Bye, Dry Heat.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Appreciate it. It's a channel for the chatters by one of the chatters. So nice. Dave Byron says, looking to get Blue Mikey for my phone. Maybe Bluetooth. Better audio. Any advice on it? I'm using surplus band gear into a 10-year-old laptop. I'm the wrong guy to ask on that stuff. You know, literally when I was setting up this rig so I could start doing Hangouts, I'm like, well, we don't use this mixer anymore in the band. This boom stand isn't really gig worthy anymore. It's falling apart. I have some spare microphones.
Yeah.
Micah himself says, how do you guys like your action neck relief string gauge fretboard radius? I like my strings as low as I can without them buzzing at all acoustically. That's my thing. Radius, I don't really care. I just like really small frets and a pretty flat neck.
Yeah, speaking of radius, hey, JJ, that Charvel, that Japanese Charvel, I know mine has the compound radius where it goes from a 12 to a 16.
Yeah, it's the same.
Does it the same? Okay.
Yeah.
So it must be that Charvel feel. That's the whole.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Like you said 12 to 16. That's what Wolfgang is.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Imagine that. Considering
like
what?
like JJ said, they probably have like a basic template, like you said.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You know, the music or the EVH is based on the PV, which is based on the Music Man, which is based on Eddie's 5150 guitar, which was based on his Frankenstein, which was a Charvel neck. So, it all comes back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave Byron
nothing
talked to
like
Mayhem
a Fender
about
neck,
mics. Yeah. Yeah, Fender's definitely a much sharper radius. It's funny. Guys would tell me, you can't do big bends on a Fender neck because it'll fret out with such small radius. And I was like, really? Tell that to the country guys.
Well,
they're doing pedal steel bends.
The 7.5 radius, I always struggled to play with a little.
Yeah.
The old 70s one. Well,
yeah,
9 is fairly round.
Yeah, I can do a full step and a half bend, and it won't fret out. But then again, maybe I have my action just that touch higher than yours too, right? So
I wonder if that's what that telly was, JJ, because I noticed on the Telecaster I was playing, maybe it was a 9, but I noticed that the bridge had a curve to it, the way they had the saddles kind of shaped.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
To adjust for that, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have to definitely have a curve in the way you set up your bridge. Usually you set it up to, the same as, Rich knows better than me. He does that stuff for me. Yeah, basically the same as the fretboard. Yeah, because they're not a compound radius. So whatever the radius of the fretboard is, you set your bridge to the same radius.
Yeah, I think it's a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a more modern neck, isn't it, on those tellies? A 9 or a 10.
Yeah. Hey, they do that on most of their standard stuff now because nobody wants a 7.5 anymore, right?
No,
like it's playing a violin. Yeah. That's true. Well, how we doing? Wow, we've been going 2 hours, guys. Wow. So
right on, man.
We should probably wrap things up since I got to work in the morning. And Bruce, it's past his bedtime. Bruce, you got anything?
I can lay down and go to sleep anytime.
You got anything to add, Bruce, on the wrap-up end of things?
This was super fun. I would love to do it again.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Yeah,
it was great to hang out with R2 and JJ and you all in the same chat. This is great.
This was totally cool, guys. Absolutely.
I'm glad you guys. Now, R2 and Bruce, have you guys done a hangout before? I know JJ has on Johnny's channel, and he's come on our metal stage.
This is my first hangout. Man. That's
awesome. And I'm glad. Yeah. Here we go. We broke the cherries.
That's why I feel honored.
Welcome to the jungle, man.
Yeah.
It's addictive. It's addictive.
Every time I would see JJ in a live hangout, man, I'm like, yeah, I want to go on.
Rocking on, too. Well, so happy you came on with us, man. It's been an awesome night.
Yeah, dude, absolutely, man.
I sensed something was up because as soon as I mentioned the JJ, he's like, "You got to get R2," and I messaged R2. Well, I'm thinking about getting JJ. Oh, I want to be part of that. I'm like,
yeah, done. I don't. And Bruce too, absolutely. I didn't know Bruce wanted to do it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Bruce was sitting on the bench there. He was ready to jump in case Rich couldn't make it in, and so Rich was running late. And then I mentioned you guys. Well, Bruce is available, and you're like,
I felt kind of bad, Ben, because I'm hanging out in the chat and I see you chatting with JJ. And when I saw JJ said that he was going to go on, I want on, man. I want to.
Yeah.
Got to be shameless, right? It's just like plugging a gig.
I got to go on. This guy is cool, dude. I love every time he was on. He makes me laugh and smile. I mean, when he was on that late night chat that one time with Johnny Beans, man. Oh my God, I had fun.
Yep.
Oh my God.
You guys rock, man.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys have supported me since day one, and I got your back for sure. So those guys that are watching, check out JJ's House of Jams, R2R3 Lockingnut. Bruce has a beautiful Wolfgang demo vid there of the guitar he showed off earlier. Check out their stuff. I want to thank you guys for coming on. This has been an awesome hangout for sure. And I want to thank everyone in the chat as well tuning in.
I'm sure we can pull more stories out of JJ.
Time. Oh, yeah. I think we just scratched the surface. Yeah. We just scratched the surface.
Yeah, guys, this is awesome. Ben, anytime you want me on, dude, I'm on, man.
Awesome. Nice. That's good to hear. Yeah, this was a great time. And I want to thank again my sponsors, Ardence Music. Check out ardencemusic.com. Renault Finn Guitars, Travis out of BC, hand builds guitars.
Hey. Absolute mayhem. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
Mayhem's
a great guy. Mayhem's a great guy, and I'm not just saying that because he bought my Ibanez last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, and anyone in the chat, you know, if you're a regular in the chat and you want to come on the channel, get in touch with me. You know, I'm all about having everybody on. You know, this is great stuff. You know,
Yeah, man,
Dave
this is
Byron's
cool.
got to get up 3:30 in the morning to drive school bus. Oh, okay. Well, you get some sleep, buddy, and be safe out there on the roads and get those kids to school. And yeah, I'll put some links to the channels down below. I didn't do it beforehand. Michael B was saying, which welcome, Michael B. And yeah, if you guys just want to hang on, we'll say our farewells to everyone there. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Awesome.
Nice.
all you guys rock. All you guys.
Yeah,
Everybody in the chat.
Yeah, as I say, this is, you know, Showman said it's a great community. It's not a community, it's a family. Like, let's be honest. Yeah.
I agree.
We all kind of show up. We're all hanging out on the same channels, big or small. You know, it's great.
You get to see my ugly face. You know, that's all cool.
We get to put a face to the Lockingnut.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, 'cause I feel like I'm like the only guy that's not on Facebook, so I feel like nobody trusts me. Like, who the heck is this guy?
yeah.
I feel like everybody knows each other, and they're like, "Don't trust this fella." But hey, man, I'm like everybody else. I love gear, and
yeah.
I'll be
I
on anytime.
Contest going on too. So if you guys want to enter the contest, go on to Facebook, the Canucks with Guitars Facebook group. Post a picture of your favorite guitar strap. If you get the most likes on your photo, you win a free guitar strap from Arden's Music.
Yes, cool.
Right on.
I entered mine.
Yep,
Me too.
that's right. I think JJ's currently in the lead, by the way.
I put mine on there, and I already saw like a million other ones that they're all better than mine. I'm like, well, why bother now? You'll have some
Oh, look at that, the clasps.
Wait, show that again.
Nice. Say something.
That's the clasp right there.
There you go. So yeah, and R2, if you want to enter the contest, just email me a picture of a guitar strap, and I'll post it on your behalf in the Facebook group. And that goes for anyone else that's not on Facebook. You can get in touch with me. You can email me. And,
There's Black at DH. Yeah, I know. Black at DH always gives me a hard time about being on Facebook.
And Blackie, I know you're
Right on,
working,
bro.
you said, during
Blackie
Beer Fest.
rocks, man.
But when I get into town, I'll send you what hotel I'm at and come by and have a jam. We're going to have some cold Canadian beer.
Scott
Play
Nickerson,
some
rock
tunes.
on, bro.
Yeah, Scott's a great guy,
Steve
too.
Anderson, the Rum Meister.
Yes,
I gave you that name, bro.
that's right. So until next time, folks, you know, be safe out there, be nice, hold that door open for the person, you know, let that other guy ahead of you in traffic. It's only going to add 10 seconds to your bloody commute. Don't worry about it. You know, do good things and good things will happen to you, folks. And until next time, peace, rock on, cheers.
Play that guitar.